welcome back to my channel. And this is going to be the end of my How the Kings Love series. And last but not least, we're talking about the King of Swords today. So, the King of Swords gets a bad rep for being cold and mean and manipulative, which those are some of his attributes or characteristics when he's working or living in a very low vibration, or that those are just that's his dark side. But let's explore the King of Swords at his best. So this was kind of hard to figure out what his love language might be. In my opinion, it would be acts of service, because he has a lot on his plate. The King of Swords, his mind is in so many different directions. He might get scattered brain. He might need help organizing the mundane task or executing his thoughts and ideas. So somebody that is well organized, that can help him pursue his passions and goals in life. Somebody that will plan his appointments, or kind of come up with a routine for him to help him in business, or just to have his life to run smoother. Somebody that's smart enough to help him figure things out. He wants a smart woman, an organized person. She necessarily don't have to be a chatterbox. He's probably going to be more talkative. It just depends, but as long as she's smart, there's something going on in her head. And when she does talk, it's something of substance. It's something that makes him think or challenge his thinking. This type of woman would turn him on, definitely. And all the kings are similar in some way or another, because this kind of reminds me of the King of Wands. But the King of Wands more so like he likes an energy, a certain type of assertiveness. But this guy here, you might not be the most assertive, but you'll definitely speak your mind. But he likes intellect, intelligence. It may not be that you're so fiery or bossy, but you're a smart person. You're good in math. You can read. You can talk about so many different topics with him. As a lover, the King of Swords, he gets a rap of being cold. He gets that reputation. But that's not always the case. You know what I'm saying? The right woman will know how to peel back his layers, and get to his heart and bring out the more compassionate side of him. Like, he might be a jerk to everybody else, but because you're a special person to him. You reach him in a different way than the people on the outside. He's very selective. He doesn't let everybody close to him. This could be a very rewarding relationship because of that, because he'll be totally devoted and loyal to you, and to be with somebody that is so selective and exclusive. That's a great feeling. I feel like, as a woman, he doesn't lend himself out to everybody, just select few, and you're that person for him. You're that person he can bare his soul to, because even though he shows a cold nature, he has a lot of feeling. He has a lot going on in his head. He's human like everybody else, and he may not say he desires this kind of connection with somebody, but he does. Who doesn't? And like I said, he gets a bad reputation for being cold, but that is just on the surface. once you get beneath the surface, there's a different person under there. It's just a shell, that he presents to people he does not know or does not want to be close to him like that, you know. So don't let that cold face fool you. Don't let that shit fool you. He feels a lot, you know. I have a list, so I'm making sure I wrote my thoughts down so I can stay organized. He'll make sure that you're taken care of financially. Once you get him opened up and stuff, he can definitely show affection. You know, he maybe not all the time. He may not be as helpful around the house like the King of Pentacles. He might not be a cook, He might not help you clean up like you want him to. Maybe if you ask him a certain way or whatever, he might do it, but that's just not something that's going to come naturally to him. He's only going to do it if you're asking him to do that. The King of Pentacles, in comparison, he might, automatically think, I want to show her love by cooking, keeping house clean, or running her a bath. The King of Swords is different. He's going to show you love by, and this is where they're similar because they both can pay the bills. But I feel like the King of Swords will be paying the bills. He's going to have insurance. He's going to take care of the car and all that stuff, all that financial stuff. He's going to take control of a lot of the business dealings and stuff. And the kids, they're going to have, if he has money like that, he's going to have the trust funds and things planned out and stuff. And you're going to have things laid out. And this is like, and this is like the King of Pentacles too. The King of Pentacles could have that set up as well. Like I said, they're all similar. But for the sake of this video, we're talking about the King of Swords. So I can see the King of Swords having something set up in that way. He has the forethought, the far sight. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but, he definitely plans ahead. And he wants his family taken care of for the long term. He's a good provider, but he could be controlling with the resources, you know what I'm saying? Like, he could control you with the money. He knows if he might be the type, be like, you don't have to work, I want you to be home. Because basically, he wants you to be home to have the house clean and food cooked and keep him together and organized. Like, he wants that to be your job, and he go out and make the money. And then you have to ask him whenever you want something, So he could be controlling with your resources in that way if you allow him to be. And he might want you not to work. You know what I'm saying? And it's all, it's strategic, He don't want you to just be home. He wants the house to be a certain way. He wants you to take care of home so he can focus on work. He wants you to take care of the kids so he can focus on making money. So he wants you to have the time to, maybe you handle his books, bookkeeping and things like that, and do the back end of business to help him out. So it could be kind of selfish, So, but if that works for you, then fine. There's nothing wrong with that as long as he's fair and does not abuse you with it, then does not power trip on you. Maybe you could make that work in a relationship. I've seen it happen. Wives, they work at the husband's business and stuff like that. That's cool. As long as you're respected as an equal, that's fine. And the King of Swords, in his most positive way, will respect you as an equal. He needs your thoughts. He needs your intellect to keep him together. He needs your feedback and your advice. He needs that from you. He may have a board of councils, or, people to talk to, but ultimately that you will have to like hold the most weight on some of his decisions. Because he trusts your judgment. You know what I'm saying? Um, let's see what else. So again, yeah, he's a devoted lover. He can be loyal. On the negative side, yeah, he could be cold. He could be very cold and not affectionate, not return affection. He could be mean and abusive in a bad, like verbally abusive. He could be controlling and manipulative. He could only be with you for a certain reason, and it's not love. Like, he could be with you on a whole business level. It's a good look, it's to get to certain connections. Like, that's the negative side of the King of Swords. Like, he doesn't have any love in his heart. He's just focused on himself and getting ahead, and he doesn't care who he steps on, and that could even be his lover, his partner. You know, he reminds me of the Earth sign Capricorn specifically. I always think about Capricorn. I think about him because Capricorns can have that layer. They can be hard to get to, but it's just a layer. You know, it has to be a certain connection to have them open up to you in a certain way, in a very soft and compassionate way, or loving. To bring that lover side out of them. With certain people, he's not too giving. Like, he's not going to be the type to bend over backwards, people please. I mean, he can be downright cold and rude if you're impeding on his boundaries. You know, he's not going to be too, he's going to let you know real quick. you know, he's a fair person. If it's logical. When I think about this King of Swords, I think about a judge. And like I said, the judge is a judge is very logical, but some of that is heart as well. It is awareness of society. Just looking at a person and what they did, their past and everything. It's all logic. It's all facts. But if this person is standing in front of you, they're still using an intuition. They're still reading body language and going off of feeling to a certain point. Like, it's not all mental. They're using there is some emotion and intuition that is used to make a good decision. I just feel like the King of Swords is not all mind. Like, the King of Swords at his best knows how to use his mind and his heart together in a harmonious way. Like, that is like the highest elevation of the sword suit or the swords court cards. Like, they know how to balance those two out very well. And that is similar to the King of Cups. The King of Cups knows how to balance his emotion and his logic out. But the King of Cups on the low end would lead with his heart and his mind later. But the King of Swords will lead with his mind and his heart later. Like, it would be all harsh. And, they will be the kind of judge that feels like, if you did that in the past, there's no way that you're going to be better this time. So they may not give you a second chance. But if this type of King of Swords is able to balance his mind and his heart out, he knows that people can change with time. And if you're been on a good track in these past few years and you got in trouble again, or whatever the circumstances are, he may give you another chance, because he is fair at the end of the day. And the only way you can be fair, I feel like, is there has to be some heart in it. There's heart and mind that's balanced with each other. So yeah, that's all I have for the King of Swords. Um, yeah, that's all I got for him. This video actually turned out to be kind of long. But yeah, King of Swords gets a bad a bad rep, or a bad what's the word? A bad rap. We just gonna go with that. But it's layers to the King of Swords, and it's a lot of the King of Swords he can be deep. It's a lot that goes on beneath the surface with him. So if you have this person in your life, this, let me know. Comment below. How did you feel about this interpretation of this card, or this energy? What's your experience with it? And I'll talk to you again next time. Bye.